In the bottom left side, we got ourselves a Dragon Phoenix Gamer Man. He is the Blue Zerg. He is Rogue. In the top right side, there's a Red Protoss. I believe he is teamless right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, he's the Red Protoss. He is Barting. These Korean players jumping and switching teams more often than rodeo dancers switch partners. It is absolutely ridiculous right now. It's very hard to keep track of everything. Alright, Rogue went for the 16 or 17 hatch right there. Didn't quite manage to make it work. Parting's probe already in position. So our first hatchery already a little bit delayed. Keep that in mind for the later part of this match, of course. Does add in a bit of variety, variables. A couple of differentiating factors that could influence the outcome of the later part of this game. Whether that be the mid game or the early game or the late game. All the games will be influenced by the variables. Variables very important in a game of StarCraft 2. Keep that in mind. I'm on fire today, ain't I? Jeez. Alright. So yeah, what are these two players? What should we expect from these two players? I think Rogue, you know what, he is known as a very aggressive player overall. I have been seeing him play a little, quite defensively as well, though, lately. Not that many all-ins anymore. He's kind of been toning it down a little bit, going into the macro game a bit more often than he would do, I don't know, in the GSL finals. Is that drone gonna die? More drones had to be pulled there. I don't know. You know what? I think they would have traded, but the probe would have gotten him as well, right? Blood for bolts. It's not too bad. What's up, Neo? Thank you for helping us out, promote that match arena, of course, in the chat. Very much appreciated, buddy. Neo, the in-house Alpha X Trovo chat bots until we actually have chat bots for Trovo. And then, you know, he's also a lot more fun to talk to. He actually responds to you when you talk to him. Unlike some other chatbots I've known in the past. Boop. Alright, couldn't get any kills there just quite yet, but still alive, still kicking. Can get that scout off here. We'll see that there's a reasonable amount of drones overall in both these bases. Gives him a bit of a relief in a sense, right? Knows that there's no big swell of links on the way or anything like that. Sees the third base, knows that there has been an investment into that as well. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy happening just quite yet. And Parting can have a sigh of relief. Just go back to his own base. Start tacking up. Start doing the things that he wants to. Bring this game into the place where he would like it to be. Gets himself a Void Ray here to hunt down some Overlords. It's also really good against Roach attacks where there is a Roach drone on the way here, so. Oh, did we miss the blood? I think we did. Missed a little bit of blood spilling there, but I think we've all seen Void Ray shoot Overlords plenty, so. You know what? I'll make it up to you guys. We'll be able to see this one explode. There we go. That's why everyone's watching, right? To see the blood sports of StarCraft. And voila. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Disgusting. Alright, anyway. Oh, Fleet Beacon coming out of Fort Parting here relatively early on. And a second Stargate. Alright, alright. You know what? It's a lot of fun to watch these types of builds. Sometimes they work. They're a little bit of a gamble. But sometimes they just absolutely fall flat on their ass. Which also happens sometimes. We'll have to see if that is going to be happening here. A bit of a miscontrol there on that Oracle, actually. Doesn't happen too often to Parting, miscontrolling. Bit of a shame. Couple of Zerglings here looking for a potential possibility to well, grab a probe, trying to make a third base, but not quite being able to do so. Won't be able to get any scouting going either, seeing how there's a Stalker in the wall. Doesn't have any overlords to do scouting with either. So Rogue, he is kind of in the dark about what is going on with his opponents here, right? I suppose he sees the timing on the third base. It's not as early as you necessarily would see, but well, I guess he knows now that there's not likely being an adept pressure coming into his way. Time for that has already gone by already a little bit. Unless if Barting really wants to kind of blindside his opponents. You know, which there is a case to be made for. I mean, only 10 links on the way here. If this was an adept pressure built and a war prism was right here, right now, whopping in like, what, six adepts? Could be quite strong as well. But yeah, he already made the investments for the third base, of course, so Rogue kind of anticipating to be safe for the time being. Couple of links here, once again, trying to figure out what is going on. That's Rogue still, not an entire... Oh, there we go. Did he see them? Oh, did he not see them? I mean, it's hard to realize, like, oh, wait a moment, if I just move down, I'll be able to see this, but... Yeah, wow, I can't believe that Parting is coming out here with the 2 carriers. Also going for the Adept Glaive attack here, so... Quite the aggressive play from Parting. Wondering if this is going to be working out for him. There's only 3 queens in the main base. That's looking pretty darn promising. The Hydra Den is not ready yet either. Okay, 2 more queens quickly moving over to this location here. The Spore Crawler needs to get itself into the ground as quickly as possible. Target fire from the queens a little bit all over the place. Now trying to get rid of that Void Ray. But yeah, these queens are going down rather quickly. 2 carriers making quite the fuss in the base of Rogue. Rogue immediately tries to do a counterattack, moves in with his roaches and zerglings. And once that was just kind of created, being like, what in the world is happening here? I probably should have something on the field, right? And all of a sudden it turns out, well, it's carriers. Alright, so not a single interceptor has gone down just quite yet. These carriers in the middle of the base is actually quite handily taking on the Hydralisk right now, one by one. Having a whale of a time there. They do finally get pushed backwards with one of them kind of low on the HP, but not for too long. They are already coming in again here. I'm not quite getting the Hydras there. Only half of the interceptors were released from only a single carrier. The follow-up here with these adepts looks pretty promising as well, I have to say. I mean, Hydras, they aren't all that quick, especially without any upgrades. I suppose that doesn't work for on creep, but still. It becomes quite difficult for them to move back and forth between these 2 locations here. Carriers back at it again as well. The Hydras looking to take on those interceptors. This hatchery under a lot of pressure. I do think that this could go down. It's going to cost quite a couple of those adepts their lives, but I mean, they will get it. Not enough Hydras were sent along with the roaches. So yeah, this puts the base count back onto 3-3. Quite something. Pretty good for Parting here, I would say, right? You don't see this all too often. Normally, when people do go for the carriers, it's more so just getting a massive wave of carriers, get those upgrades as quickly as possible. And this was just, like, it's almost like Parting is using these carriers much like a Terran would use battle cruisers, right? Taking some inspiration from the Terrans, kind of just being like, alright, well, let me just get 2 carriers. Let me do harassment with it continuously. Have an ever-present threat on the map that my opponent will have to respect. He will have to try and have forces to deal with this continuously present. I'm going to be able to do a little bit of initial burst damage, as we saw. I mean, he didn't get that many workers, but he got a ton of queens, right? A ton of queens. And those queens are also very important to help out against the adepts. Do the injects, get the creep spread going, and all these factors now kind of being minimized here. We can see clearly there's not that much creep spread going on for somebody that has been in the game for almost 10 minutes right now. Yeah, so quite the hassle there it turned out to be for Rogue to deal with this. Was not anticipating this whatsoever. Of course, not being able to get the scout off there, also quite a troublesome thing. And this is quite the wonderful play here for Parting, I have to say. Alright, Parting trying to get a couple of disruptor shots here preemptively, it turns out as well. Ooh, that's a big one. Thought that was a little bit early, but that was perfectly timed. Oh my. Carriers again here on the left side as well. Look at the amount of Hydras just being sent over. That is an incredible amount. I mean, sure, they deal with it very nicely, but does that now mean that's not enough here for Rogue on the right side to deal with this actual threat that could just clean up all these roaches, all the ravages, and a couple of bases to boot? Oh, that is rough. Yep, another disruptor shot there, gaining some value. Here are the Hydras, finally. Maybe that is now finally enough firepower to deal with this. Actually, the Hydras going back around again, the other side. Oh, okay, reasonable split there. Not losing everything. The force fields were pretty darn humongous as well. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, this is getting very, very just painful to watch right now. Lurkers, they are on the way. I mean, Lurkers, they're pretty good. They are pretty good. Oh god, that is horrendous. That is horrendous. I think we're just going to see Parting win this, right? Yeah, I don't think this is going to go any other way than just Parting taking control of this map right now. I mean, he already has disruptors against those Lurkers here as well. The ranged upgrade is not finished yet either, which is a big deal. We know I have... yeah, we do have an observer. Do we? We do, right? Where's this observer? I'm trying to see it, but... Where's your observer, buddy? Oh, it's the Oracle, of course. Yep. You know what, actually? Hydralisk kind of pushing this backwards here. The Stalkers not quite being able to handle the Roaches and the Hydralisk. The two carriers on the left side again do find an opportunity. Oh, that is massive. Another good hit there from the Disruptors. Trying to get rid of the Warpers, and that could finally shut this down a little bit. Or at least make it difficult for Parting to continue. Roaches and Hydras here just trying to get whatever they can. More Roaches on the way. Single Lurker there as well still. The carriers in the main base. I mean, this is something that has to be dealt with as well, right? They are on top of the drones right now. They managed to take out some tech structures as well. The spawning pool and spore crawlers. So I guess spore crawlers not really qualifying as tech structures, but you know what I mean. I can't believe these two carriers still going around. Let's take a look at the kill count. 19 and 24. Okay, not as massive as I thought it would be. But they have truly been an everlasting just thorn in the side of Rogue here. GG is called. Parting takes game number 1 very, very nicely. It's a well-executed, nice little build right there from Parting. I love to see that type of stuff, right? Just Parting being able to take control of the game right off the bat, early game with those two carriers. Didn't overmake the carriers either, which is also very weird, right? Because he went with a double Stargate to get those two carriers as quickly as possible, and then he just didn't really utilize the Stargates anymore. Even though he had 2 of them, he didn't even make the +1 air weapons. He didn't make anything else, and yeah. Very, very peculiar. Quite something. Very strong, though, it turns out. Did rely heavily upon Rogue not being able to scout it, though, of course, which is why that first initial Void Ray is so crucial as well. But, yeah, that was a very, very cool map to see. I wonder if we're gonna see something like that again. You hope he's gonna mass blink Stalkers again? Oh, dude, that was so cool the previous time, wasn't it? Ooh, just blink Stalkers Palooza just everywhere, continuously, endlessly, for like 20 minutes long. He's just on the front door of Rogue with those blink Stalkers. That was a nutty game. That was a very nutty game. It was one of the more fun games that I've casted, really. But this one, you know what, also quite darn good. I really enjoy Parting versus Rogue. That is a very, very good matchup. Alright, here we go. Alright, the blue Zerg, bottom right, Dragon Phoenix Gamer. He is Rogue. Top left side, the red Protoss. I believe teamless right now. I should look this up, actually. This is... I mean, I know, guys. I should know, but... Man, he switches up a lot. It gives me something to talk about, right? Something to do while we wait for the game to really get started. Yeah, he's teamless right now. Can you believe it? A man like this, teamless. The red Protoss, top left. Barting. Alright, so... what will we have today? Another bit of a hatchery block here. This time around, Rogue a bit earlier with the drone. Just gonna try to, well, get his second base in time this round. Actually, no, comes back here for the probe. Changing his mind. Peculiar. I suppose he did go for the spawning pool first. Alright, alright. Spawning pool and gas first, by the way. I'm not paying attention. I just like to see the probe and the drone dance. Dance. Dancing the night away. You know, you gotta pick one way of pronunciation and then just kind of stick to it, you know? Can't use them interminglingly. It's just together, you know? Just can't use them thrown about together. Alright, a couple of Zerglings here first and foremost. Looks like it's very much doable for Barting to get a wall off here. Shouldn't be too much of a hassle in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, Rogue is mainly making drones now anyway, right? Oh, a quick lay attack here. Could it be looking to get some... Why is he looking to get... Maybe a Nidus Worm? Could it be a Nidus Worm? Huh. Alright, well... My mind's a blank. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of links on the way here. It could work, right? He has an Overlord coming up here into this corner. It's still completely dark in this quadrant of the map. That little corner and that little nook. The crevice of Barting's base. It's truly the butthole of the base of Barting here that is about to be infiltrated. Barting's trying to figure out what is going on here. There's the Nidus Worm on the other base. A lot of links here on the map as well, trying to figure out whether or not there's something of a scout coming in. Oh, he's going to do an Overlord drop as well. That's a good start. That's a good start. That is going to kind of give you some safety, right? Because now the Protoss units are just going to have to deal with these links as the Nidus Worm is coming up. And that is quite the something. And as soon as those links kind of arrive without a Nidus Worm showing up, you're instantly just like, alright, well... You're no longer thinking about a Nidus Worm, I feel like. You're just like, alright, I guess this is what he's doing, and then... You don't... At least I wouldn't. Yeah, they are. The first initial couple of links. Barting's like, alright, well, this is a bit bothersome, and then suddenly the floodgates open up. There we go. A lot of links right now immediately on top of that shield battery at the natural base. That is gone and dealt with. The Queens have a rough time getting over here, but the Lynx do not have a rough time to get on top of that Immortal. Although, you know what? Actually, they do. Getting closer and closer right now. Not sure what they want to target. There's still a couple of Adepts there as well. I believe one or two, but... Wow, GG is called. Rogue. Rogue strikes back. You've heard of German taxi. Now let me introduce you to the Korean subway. That's right. The Korean subway, where links just will flood out of, I suppose. It looks a bit like a big mouth. Just try to avoid the teeth and the saliva if you wanna you know, if you're not wearing your waterproof clothes, but... Alright, so, yeah, 1-1. 1-1. Bit of a sudden surprise there for Parting. Was not anticipating that whatsoever, but a clean way for Rogue to kind of take this one. It's very cool that he went for the spawning pool first and then into the Nidus Worm, because you don't see that all too often either, right? Normally, if you see people go for that spawning pool first, what they'll do is just kind of like move all the links to the front side of the base of the Protoss. Sometimes, occasionally, very occasionally, maybe get something to work out in their favor, right? They take out a building, they manage to get on top of something, so they get inside, or they get a surround on a certain unit that is supposed to be in the wall. But normally, I mean, it feels like that has just kind of been solved by the Protoss. They don't struggle with that all too much anymore. This time around, Rogue had that spawning pool first, made him just build a lot of queens a lot earlier onwards, and just went for the Nidus. Went for the Nidus straight afterwards. Very decisive, very cool stuff. Alright, game number 3. In the bottom left side, we have ourselves a red Protoss player. He is fighting teamless right now. He is Parting. The top right side, we got ourselves a blue Zerg player fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Rogue. Alright, well, Curie, you asked for it. You did ask for it, Curie. At least you said you enjoy them, so, well, here you go. Parting, obeying your commands. Straight up just going for the cannon rush right now. 2 pylons already in position. Single drone comes in. Is there a way for him to move? No, okay, there is not. Yeah, that is something else. And there's the first cannon. Should be able to cancel this pylon here. No problem. No worries. That cannon most likely won't be shut down anymore. Gateway also being committed here. Alright, so we're looking for the response out of Rogue here. How is he going to take actions? Which steps will he take to try and mitigate the amount of damage that he takes from this, and even just gonna roll the game back around? Probably is gonna cancel this hatchery, right? It's not a real rhyme or reason to let this finish right now. Is there? Is there? I guess there is. Alright. There's no way he's gonna save it, right? 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 Is there? Is there? No. Oh yeah, I'm a bit confused overall. Alright, well, he's going for the Roach Warren here. Could this be that this was Rogue making sure that Parting doesn't get to make shield batteries and stuff as quickly as he wants to here with the creep, I suppose, right? That could be it. Maybe he wants the 1 extra larvae in order to get the overlords out. I'm not so sure. Rootlings. Alright, let's get these 2 larvae as well into roaches. One of them, unfortunately, got hit before it turned into an egg. The other one looks like that may go down as well, actually. Those cannons, they do a lot of damage against those eggs. Cocoons, sorry, not eggs, are they? An egg would be if that was the first form, and it's not, so that makes it a cocoon. Isn't that weird? Cocoons are just basically eggs that are formed at a later stage in life. It's like the teenager egg, but then we just got an entirely different thing. This is a bit awkward. Did he not see that Adept Shade past? Maybe anticipating it not to commit there. Does get rid of it, so. Gets the Zealot also. That means there's no high ground vision for the time being. Allowing these Ravagers to get the biles going the way they'd like to. Doing alright for themselves. Finding another opportunity here in a little corner. Before the cannon was completed. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. One or two more volleys like that and we should be able to see this break. There we go. Oh, not hitting the cannon there. Bit of a shame. Did he lose more workers? Okay, he lost 5 workers in total now. Interesting. Okay, well, I mean, that pylon right there is not really the most important one, but let's get rid of the cannon as well. How many pylons do we still have? Is this a pylon? No, it's a shield battery. Alright, looks okay here. Nice targeting on the low HP units here for Parting. He's able to kind of juggle his way to somewhat of a victory so far. Okay, I think Rogue needs to slow it down a little bit here. It's truly on a knife's edge right now, I would say. Gets another cannon. Okay, the shield batteries, they are empty. Did he do it? Did he actually manage to break this? He's got so little left. It really is just a small cluster of units right now. That Immortal's still going strong. The shield batteries have been, well, emptied out. And the ones that haven't have been destroyed. 2 Immortals now on the fields. Could that be the tiding, the tide turning. Jeez Louise. The turd tiding. Oh, that's the wrong expression right there. Still early. All right, well, this is interesting. Parting's still making it work somewhat, you know. 3rd Immortal now. Rogue really wants to get rid of that pylon here. Does manage to do so. Now there's 3 Immortals without a real response. GG is called, just like that. That was rough. That was rough. Could not stop that Robo from producing. Yeah, that did become his downfall here. Trying to take on the shield batteries. It's a smart way to try and deal with this, right? You have to commend him for it. Going for the shield batteries. Very committed overall. But you can see the plan there, right? You can clearly see a way to victory in that situation. You stop the shield batteries and then all of a sudden it becomes possible for you to take on the Immortals. But yeah, alright, anyway. Alright, yeah, a little bit of a jumble right there in my speech. Wow. We'll try to stay awake, all right? Okay. That gives again a advantage here for Parting. Will be taking the reins of the match, of the series, putting himself actually on match points here as well, right? If he wins one more, that is just straight up victory, and he'll be moving onwards into the best of 7. That is coming up after the other best of 5, of course, which is Beyond versus Zest. We'll have to see. We'll have to see which one of those guys will be moving on forwards as well. We'll have ourselves a best of 7, and then I'm gonna go bake myself some cookies. All right. I think we're waiting for something. Someone waiting for Ro to say go. Maybe. I don't know. He said something in Korean, so I'm assuming he's asking for something. It's a little bit of a couple of seconds. Romanticide here, our next map. Romanticide, a nice big macro map. Will we see macro though? That is a good question. So far, the more aggressive player, it turns out, is the player that is winning between these two. Both of them very aggressive players to begin with anyway. All right. All right. All right. Alright, what would we say? I'm sorry. I'm getting confused. I'm trying to figure out what's happening here with the Koreans. It's difficult. It's difficult because, you know, they speak Korean. They speak a different language than I speak. I wish I could speak Korean. Anyway, that's why I'm trying to learn. I've been, I'll be honest with you, I have been slacking off a little bit with it recently. I've not been going at it as strongly as I would like to. But you know what? Admitting this now makes me feel more motivated to continue onwards with it again. You know, that's the power of shaming yourself into doing something. It's a good way to do something or get something done. I think shame can be a very powerful motivator. And yeah. All right. So anyway, little life lesson right there, handed out amongst all of you who probably don't need it as much as I do. All right. All right. Here we go. Moving on forwards. Game number 4. We are going with light speed right now. Quite quickly. It's been 37 minutes and we're already 3 games done and in game 4. So, let's see. On the bottom right side, we got a blue Zerg fighting for the Dragon Phoenix Gamers. He is Rogue. The top left side, the blue Brodos minerals are being mined by the red Brodos. He is parting. There we go. Saved it. Easy. Easiest introduction of my life. Ah. Alright. I still wonder sometimes, right? Parting, leaving Dragon Phoenix Gaming as Rogue joins Dragon Phoenix Gaming, which always gives a bit of an extra oomph whenever you see these two play against one another, right? Was Parting replaced with Rogue on the roster of Dragon Phoenix Gaming? Were they like, you know what, this Parting guy is pretty cool, it's pretty cool, but, you know, if we get Rogue, we'll probably get more tournament wins underneath our names, so we should probably switch the two up. Oh, faking the cannon rush here, that is pretty funky. Rogue not falling for it just quite yet. Did send a drone out earlier on, but very quickly moved it backwards, so Rogue having a good read on things here. Did make the right call anyway. There's a forge on the way now, which is coming up afterwards, which is interesting. Is he gonna go Stargate with it? Oh no, wait, actually, he is gonna go Cannon Rush. Oh, you're joking! You're joking! He's just like, you know what, we'll do it anyway. We'll do it anyway. Who cares? It worked out so well the previous time. Let's just do it, shall we? There it is. Alright, well, faking the Cannon Rush into actually going Cannon Rush. That is ridiculous. Somebody harass this man. He needs to go to just being rude prison. That's the Robo right now. So, alright, Rogue, round 2 against the Cannon Rush. Imagine him going down to the Cannon Rush twice in a row here. That is... ooh, that would be embarrassing. Although it is against Parting, of course, but still, that would be rough. No Spine Crawlers just quite yet. Rogue looking to solve this situation solely with the use of Roaches and Ravagers. High ground vision pylons being constructed here. Down goes the hatchery. Oh, the broodlings there. Not quite sure what they want to do. Alright, this time around he did manage to successfully obtain all the larvae here, so we'll not be losing anything. Oh, gets the probe off the high ground as well. This is massive. Now he's going to be able to just keep shooting here from the high ground without any fear of anything shooting him. Another probe does enter in the field. But with the creep spread, it's not like he can just plop down a pylon or something like this. He's going to have to make a war prison as quickly as possible. And yeah, I'm very much enjoying the position of Rogue here. I think this is much better than we had the previous time. Was a little bit further delayed cannon rush, of course, from Barting here. No gateway there either to tank some of the fire from the Ravages and the Roaches somewhere else. There's the War Prism. Whoa, still getting biled. That's a very cool little tidy thing right there. Down goes the shield battery as well. Maybe just target down the probe here. Try to. One more Ravager goes down. I think he's done it, right? I think he's held. I think he lives for another day. Gonna make himself a hatchery here. As Parting's making himself a Nexus. Alright. We're not letting it end so quickly. Just quite yet. This time around, a good hold. Single pylon still remains here. More Ravagers. It's interesting. This is rough. Oh, that is so rough. Look at this micro. Look at this man go. Look at him go. He's endless. Another shot. There you are. It's like whack-a-mole, but then the more, you know, never quite staying long enough. And he shoots, I don't even know what an Immortal shoots, but energy blast at you, trying to kill you as well. Okay, this is crazy. Pretty darn ridiculous. Rogue has to move backwards here. Needs to get his queen involved. The queen needs to keep targeting the War Prism. That's the only thing that can't be juggled here, of course. Out of the two components, that is the one. Can't lose the queen though, of course. Guess that's one way of juggling this. Just kind of shoot the queen. Just like, yeah, that's right. What are you gonna do? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He's just still here. Still dealing damage. Still getting kills. Alright, I want to see this. Oh, okay, that's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's like a hero unit. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is like level 10 Warcraft 3 hero level. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Ah, can we get the last dunk? Right, it's still going on as well. This is the silly part, right? I say silly, it's also very impressive. It's an Oracle now. Hey, Zep. And that's going to be another dead queen, actually. That means it's opened up again. Open season for the Immortal once more. Okay, no two queens. Two other queens come in. Alright, has this finally been pushed backwards? Because I don't know how more how I can still describe this situation. Well, I guess I could, but we'll figure something out. It's like a bungee cord. Immortal just continuously bouncing back and forth from the ground to the back into the War Prism. Gonna go into the main base now. Already a couple of Zerglings here. Zerglings should be able to deal with this, right? Because they don't have projectiles. They're already right on top of that Immortal. Should be able to deal with it. Two sentries here. Or I mean, Oracles. Another Oracle, actually, on the third. Immortal once more strikes. Wow. Wow. How about now? Yeah, okay, this is starting to get ludicrous. This is starting to get just embarrassing right now for Rogue here. How much damage one Immortal has been able to do with that assist of a couple of Oracles here, I suppose. Barting even made a full wall of, thinking to himself that, well, maybe there will be a counter-attack. But he killed the counter-attack before it even left the Zerg base, so. Three Oracles, once again, really doing a number here on these, actually, no, never mind, two of them do go down. So I was going to go better there for Barting. Alright. In the end, he only got 6 workers, but he got a ton of army units from Rogue that Rogue will have to replenish. Rogue's only 10 workers ahead right now. Parting did manage to establish a third base behind this as well. He's got himself 2 Stargates and a Fleet Beacon. And he's going Void Race right now. He's got 3 Stargates, actually. Correction. And he's making the +1 air weapons. So, Parting going for a bit of a spectacular thing here, I believe. Which we'll be watching out for. Hopefully that will be the carriers once again, but a bit more devoted to the carriers, perhaps. Seeing these upgrades come in. Actually, getting the Void Ray upgrade right now. It's going to stick to Void Rays. I mean, that could work. That could work. Well, less production time here, of course, in comparison to carriers. So we'll be able to mount an offensive a lot earlier. Couple more drones go down. Endless harassment here from Parting still. Getting himself ahead now with the 7 worker count is, well, he killed off more workers and, of course, a couple of buildings here being built by Rogue. Rogue making Corruptors here, guys. Rogue is actually making Corruptors. What did he see? It's making him want to go Corruptors. Maybe the... Okay, well, now he sees the Void Ray here. Maybe he's anticipating carriers. Much like I was anticipating carriers. He's just solely making Corruptors. Corruptors don't do well against Void Rays here. And that's a lot of Void Rays. I think Rogue may have just kind of made this game an unfortunate loss here. By going for this amount of Corruptors. 13 of them. I mean, they will be able to one-shot Void Rays, right? Will they? We'll see. We'll see. Void Rays, do they have the prismatic alignment? I think they do. They're still running away for the time being. That is... Oh, that is not a one-shot, is it? Yeah, the Void Rays doing pretty good as well, but... Actually, they just don't have the numbers quite yet, with the Queens here underneath as well. I think... Yeah, I think... Mr. Rogue has this still. Okay. Okay, he stays alive. Thanks to those Queens, I would say. Parting not dead yet either, though, of course. Still going heavy into this. More Corruptors being constructed here for Rogue. Normally, you see a lot of those Mutalisk transitioning into the Mutalisk ball after the Void Race, but I suppose it's also still a hard thing to do, right? Because if you go for the Mutalisk, they get a lot more heavily countered by Phoenixes than Corruptors do against Void Race. So yeah, there we are. There's the next solution. That's the Hydralisk Den. Probably the right call to make. Can't stick onto these Corruptors for the time being. Will be trying his luck at a killing of the 4th base here. Would be kind of massive, of course. Does manage to achieve this. I think he will. Is he going to be able to run away, though? That's a whole different story, right? I don't think he will be able to. It was just a few units. Corrosive Bile actually here as well. The Corruptors taking the opportunity with the Void Race being elsewhere. This could actually start working out. Oh, okay. Not going to commit to it. We'll be moving backwards. How many Hydralisks do we have? Not that many just quite yet, but they're going to have to fight these Void Race right here, right now. Corruptors on the other side. Hydralisk and Queens trying their best to keep up with the Void Ray movements. Can be quite difficult. They are the speeder bikes of the sky right now. Alright. Parting reclaiming that 4th base and the 5th base as well to boot. He's in an okay position to do this, right? There has to be a response being made for Parting, though, against these Hydralisks, right? That's the one thing that has me worried, actually. Yeah, that has me worried quite a bit, actually, looking at it right now. We only have a real Void Ray presence. There's no AoE, there's no Splash, there's no Storm, Disruptors, Colossi, nothing of the sorts. And look at the amount of Hydralisks that are walking in right now. They don't have the speed upgrade just quite yet, so that's a big boon here for Parting, but will it be enough? The Void Race actually getting on top of the Hydralisk. That is not the way you should fight this, I believe, but... or is it? I guess it is. I guess he just takes them all out. Easy peasy. No problem. Void Race. Strike again. That is something else. Okay. did not anticipate that to go his way. Alright, Void Race, pretty good. Is it upgrades? I mean, they do have, both of them have the +2 weapons upgrades. Let me just target firing that a little bit off for Rogue, who knows. All of these Hydras are a bit in the orange, so maybe we would have been able to shut down the Void Race a bit easier, minimize the damage being taken there. Infestation pits on the way. More and more Hydras on the way as well. Finally, there we have some sort of a solution to the Hydralisk, even though apparently Void Rays are the solution to Hydralisk. See, could be a bit of a base trade situation here. No, never mind. The Void Rays quickly rotate around. Scary moment here. Hydras, I'm not sure if they will be able to run away here, right? No, they will actually make buying opportunity with Zerglings here. Parting, just sending a couple of Void Rays that way. As soon as they reach the creep, they should be able to get out of dodge, out of harm's way. Come on, it's... Oh, this is rough. He's losing so many of them. He's gonna lose this base as well now. That needs to be cancelled. Not cancelled. The Nexus here on the left side as well, though, is gonna fall. So, tit for tat. Right? Void Rays finding themselves in a very good position, though, inside of this dead space right now. Rotating back and forth between the two locations. This is very difficult to deal with. This is incredibly difficult to deal with here for Rogue. Parting found himself in a very, very graceful position here. Now, the Infestors, they could change this, of course. How many do we have? 4 of them. A good Fungal will put them, force them onto one of these locations, and then the Hydras gonna have the ability to actually engage this without the Void Race just kind of moving back and forth. But that is gonna have to be quite frustrating to deal with as well. Alright, more and more Void Race. It is just pure Void Race here from Parting. It really is. Nothing else. Nothing more. We do have Colossi on the way, though. They are being constructed. Don't you worry. There's already 2 of them out and about. Extended Thermal Lance on the way. Alright. One of the last moments here for Rogue, perhaps, to make something work before those Colossi are out and about. Here we go. The Fungal's not the greatest. And, you know what? Who needs Colossi when you have Void Race? That is... Alright. Okay, so the entire way I feel like I know this game right now is just kind of being tested here. This is, I'm not used to Void Race being able to take on Infestor Hydras. Just too many, just too many. There's 12 of them right now. Rogue having a very rough time kind of getting on top of that ball of Void Race here. Not quite getting any type of a Fungal in the neighborhood. Now Templar Archives also being constructed. Parting just spending most of his minerals instead of in units, kind of in static defenses, making more bases. Really just constructing a very strong presence if there were ever to be any type of counterattacks. So what, do we need like Vipers here as well? For Rogue? Is that no way? Does he just need to do Parasitic Bomb against the Void Race? Because it does seem to be quite a struggle for him right now. The Vipers would be good to yoink in those Colossi as well, of course. Neural Parasite, maybe that's going to be the way forwards. Void Rays have been on top of just creeps denial as well for quite a while now. So, especially on this left side here, not that much creep available, which the Hydras desperately need. No base. Oh, this hasn't been mined out. That is horrendous. You really had to mine that out, I would say. You know what? May even start now. Like, just start doing it right at this moment. Send all these drones. Mine this out so you have the option to move back and forth between these two bases. Alright, doesn't matter. Parting will be committing into this location right here. Long range of the Colossi helping out with the Spore Crawlers there. This hatchery still under the attack of a single Zealot. Sparting now steamrolling ahead with the base count. Here we go, the Hydras. There, not a lot of them are shooting in the backside of things here. I think this may be a bit too much. A couple of Colossi do get knurled, but yeah, that's just too much. That is just too much Protoss, I believe, really to do anything here. Right? GG. GG! Rogue! Yeah, just didn't have anything anymore. Did not have